because ultimately, if you do all this hard work to acquire assets, you want to work just as hard to try to protect and preserve those assets. And if you think about this, I want you to think about how many families you know that have lost property. Maybe they lost grandma's house because they got foreclosed on, or they lost, or they got a bunch of money and they blew the bag. And we just kind of think that that's kind of funny. It's not funny when somebody blows their generational wealth, or an NBA player who makes $100 million and ends up going broke. So really understanding the tools of wealth preservation, I think, is absolutely essential. It's really literally as important as acquiring wealth. I mean, if you're not going to keep it, if you're just going to lose it, then you should never go for it anyway. Why not just be lazy? Don't work then, but you work hard to acquire wealth so you can have it. And when you have it, believe me, you got to keep it, because once you get it, you become a target. Capitalism to some extent is like a game of King of the Hill. It's King of the Hill where you ever play King of the Hill where if you get to the top of the hill, somebody's always trying to take you down from the hill. That's just a rule. That's just what it is. Right. So you don't just have to be strong enough to get there. You gotta be strong enough to stay there. And you stay there by having the right allies, having the right strategy, understanding basic concepts like diversification, wealth protection, estate planning, trusts, things like that, right? So anyway, also we do economic elevation circles. If you want to talk about that in terms of preserving legacy, we do those once a month. We're going to do one at the convention as well. So you can go to economicelevationcircle.com if you want to take a look and join us. That's economicelevationcircle.com. All right, so let's see here. Okay, last one I'm going to read, and then we'll be finished up for tonight. This one says slavery wealth hidden on Wall Street. The Civil War allowed the origins of this nation's wealth to be transformed and hidden. It moved from south to north, from owning slaves to owning land, from investing in the institution of slavery to investing in Wall Street stocks and bonds. Prior to the Civil War, nearly all businesses were directly or indirectly selling products and goods produced by slavery. The nation's textile, tobacco, shipping, insurance, cotton, sugar, ironworks, building, furniture, and agricultural industries all thrived off slavery. Wall Street commodities were linked to and fluctuated with the rising and falling values of slaves. In the 1840s, there were only one or two millionaires. John Astor, with 16 million, 1/5 of the nation's wealth. Holy shit, that's crazy. Well, he was the richest man in America. Of course he was. He derived his $16 million fortune from businesses that profited from slavery. The Civil War generated a rush of millionaires. Merchants who were able to sell slave-produced items, especially food, clothing, military supplies, and weapons, reaped fantastic profits from government contracts. Others made fortunes from the war over slavery by selling abroad. For instance, the king and queen of commodities, of course, remained cotton and tobacco. On the eve of the Civil War, England purchased approximately £1 billion from the South. While the Civil War had depressed cotton prices in the South to as low as 3 cents a pound, cotton industries in England paid as much as 48 cents a pound. That's called arbitrage, where you buy low, sell high. You buy it cheaply in America for 3 cents, you sell it in England for 48 cents. Next thing you know, rinse and repeat, you're building millionaires.